Welcome to my channel. Today we're talking about loglines, your #1 selling and marketing tool as a screenwriter or a filmmaker. If executives read your loglines and go like, ooh, then you got them with that first impression. That's actually what it is. Logline is the first impression you make with these executives, meaning managers, agents, producers, or investors that you're meeting with. First things first, if you haven't subscribed, do it because I talk about the ins and outs of this industry. I talk very real and I don't keep anything back from you unless they have me sign an NDA. Anyways, subscribe so you don't miss anything. The community that I'm building here, we lift each other up and support each other because filmmaking is a team game. Screenwriting too. And no, don't make me explain. Okay. So, you can never be a good screenwriter unless you have peers and friends that enjoy reading your screenplays and give you feedback. Okay, now that we agree on that, what is a logline? Logline is this one sentence, super short summary of your screenplay. Short film, feature film, TV show, web series, limited series, whatever you have, whatever you're working on, they have to have loglines. Logline is your biggest game, okay? When executives, managers, agents start to connect with you, the first thing they're gonna ask about your projects is the logline. So logline is like a knock on the door. If you knock it good, that sounds hilarious, but stick with me. If you knock the door good with a great logline, then that logline will help you get in. It's a really powerful asset for us screenwriters and filmmakers. You literally have to send your loglines to these executives, and them wanting to read your screenplay or not wanting to read your screenplay will depend on that logline. Sometimes writers make a sell with just the logline, literally with just one super short sentence of a logline. It's that powerful. Now you might be asking, hey, I have an amazing project, but I'm not sure how to explain this deep story with just one short sentence. I struggled with this a lot when I first started out 4 years ago because I love writing science fiction projects, but because the world building is so heavy, I was struggling to form like a short sentence. So how do I explain this crazy world, the main character, and the plot in just one short sentence? That's the question. It was a real challenge. But first, before I get to how to write a good logline, let's look at some logline formulas out there. Here's a very common logline formula. If you type logline formula on Google, this is going to be everywhere. This is the basic logline formula. They kept showing this to us in film school all the time. Let's write an example using this formula. Now, protagonist plus inciting incident plus goal plus antagonist. I'm just gonna make something up. A college student joins a drag queen race only to realize that she has to race against her bully from high school. Not a good example, not a good logline at all. But for the sake of this example, bear with me, okay? Protagonist is a college student, joins a drag race, inciting incident. Goal is already winning the race, I assume. So we don't have to repeat ourselves with stating the obvious in the loglines. That's why I sometimes don't like logline formulas. And lastly, antagonist is the bully from her high school. Cool? Okay, now I'm gonna share my logline formula with you. And I just said I don't like logline formulas. I really don't. But when I was trying to figure out how to write good loglines, this formula right here helped me a lot. So here it is. When/after inciting incident happens, main character does something or wants something, that would be the goal, but then twist happens. In this logline formula, I don't care about antagonists because who really cares? I mean, unless it's a horror movie and we're talking about a ghost or a house or a Terminator. Or if you're writing a superhero movie where the antagonist is someone we love and we want to see, then no need to mention the antagonist. And keep in mind, the twist part of the logline That part is kind of the antagonist part. So let's put the previous logline I made into this formula here. When a college student joins a drag race, she discovers her passion and plays to win, but her high school bully who traumatized her challenges her in the race. A bit longer, but as you can see now, it's a bit better with this formula because we explain the character and the twist so much better. I don't know, I just like this formula. If you want to try it, go ahead, it's completely free and you will kind of discover your own formula for loglines. So I hope it helps you with your logline journey because it helped me a lot. So essentially, the logline has to have the main character, goal, and the twist or what's at stake for the movie. Stakes are mostly important to mention in your logline and I'll explain it with an example. Actually, let's just take a look at the same example that I've been using throughout this video. When a college student joins a drag race, she discovers her passion and plays to win, but her high school bully who traumatized her challenges her in the race. There is not much at stake in this logline, right? She lost the drag race. So what? Why do we care? She'll join next year. And high school bully alone is not much of a stake. So let's kind of play with this. After a college student joins a drag race, she has to win the race before her parents learn about it. But a bully who traumatized her in high school challenges her with everything he has. Now this is longer, but much more interesting. I added the parents as a stake. Her parents cannot know about this. Oh yeah, now you definitely want to watch this movie. I mean, I want to watch this movie. So do you see the magic of putting the stakes in your logline? That's really important. Now, how to write good loglines. My number one tip is to not get lost in your world. World details, they don't matter as much in your logline, not yet. Executives really don't care about your world in the logline stage. It's true. So forget about it. Just tell us what really matters about your world in the logline. What is so distinctive and interesting about your world? For example, if you've seen my video about writing my first feature film, which I will link down below, watch it after this because it's very helpful, okay? So if you haven't seen it, I'll share the logline with you right now. A chemical engineer makes a best-selling drug that kills people on the 4th dose. There's actually a lot of world rules in this feature film. There's like drug cartels and then the engineering student, Breaking Bad type of a world with some college setting. Do I explain any of that in this logline? Do I tell them where my chemical engineer lives? Or how does this drug work? How does it kill people on the 4th dose? I tell nothing about that. What matters is the concept of the film and what is really catchy about this film. What's going to make these executives like, OMG, I want to make this movie? Next is you have to be specific. For example, the logline example I've been giving in this video, it's not a good logline and I kept saying that. Why? Because I described the main character as a college student. That is not specific at all. Sure, a college student, so what? What makes them a great character for your story? A misfit college student. Now that makes it interesting. A failed college student. Okay, maybe. An unhappy college student. Yes, now we're talking. But an unhappy college student joining a drag race, that kind of feels a bit more drama as a genre, which is fine if you want to go for it. But think about this. A misfit college student goes for a drag race. Now that's comedy. So you see how being more specific also hints at your genre in your logline, which is very important. Another suggestion I have is write your logline before starting to write your script. Then don't be afraid to change it because as you write the screenplay, you're going to discover so much more about your story and the logline is going to keep changing, which is great. With each logline you write, you practice writing a logline. So don't be afraid to just try log lines. Keep trying, keep writing. It's like logline writing muscle. Actually, let's do an exercise right now. I want you to grab a piece of paper and a pen, or you can open notes on your phone, whatever you're comfortable with. Get ready. Now look at my logline formula. Look at it. Now type either when or after. Just choose one and go with it. Now close your eyes, or don't, whatever you want, but I'm gonna close my eyes. And think about a main character. I'm grabbing a pen right now. I'm gonna do this with you. Now let's think about a character. You write it down on your own. I'm gonna write my own, and then I'm gonna share it, okay? Later. Now think about an inciting incident, literally anything. It doesn't have to make any sense. Just do it with me. It can be as simply as falling down a sewer. Now think about what their goal would be according to the inciting incident you just made up. Think about it and write it, okay? I'm gonna share my logline too, and it's very stupid, so don't worry. It cannot get any stupider than this. Now think about a twist that can happen in this movie. Okay, ready? Share yours in the comments below, but I'm sharing mine right now. When an ugly rat is about to marry the prince via arranged marriage, she wants to be beautiful again, but rat spas don't accept her ugliness, so she has to sneak into cat spas. So yeah, share yours in the comments below. I want to see it. Mine is hilarious. Imagine watching a movie like this. See this little practice we had? Try to do it every day or at least every week, and you'll practice those muscles of writing log lines, and slowly you're gonna get better. Okay, I'm gonna put this away. And finally, let's take a look at some great logline examples from existing movies. Number one is The Matrix. A computer hacker learns from mysterious rebels about the true nature of his reality and his role in the war against its controllers. And second, we have Silence of the Lambs, which is a really good one. A young FBI cadet must confide in an incarcerated and manipulative killer to receive his help on catching another serial killer who skins his victims. Oh yeah. And third, The Godfather. The aging patriarch of an organized crime dynasty transfers control of his empire to his reluctant son. Well, this could have been much better, but okay. Lastly, The Hangover. Three buddies wake up from a bachelor party in Las Vegas with no memory of the previous night and the bachelor missing. They make their way around the city in order to find their friend before his wedding. Now, this is 2 sentences. Some people say that 2-sentence logline is okay, but for me, I don't recommend that. I think keeping it as short as possible is the way to go. Now it's time for you to write amazing loglines for your own projects and get them noticed. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. Like this video and share it with a friend of yours who wants to learn how to write better loglines. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week.